Hello and welcome back to the next session of microbes in human welfare. Now in this session, after the part of the biogas plant, we are coming across a heading called as microbes as biocontrol agents, in which we have a subtitle biological control of pest and disease. Now what is this? In the agriculture field, we are using chemical pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. If we are using them extensively, one, we are killing the pathogens which infect the crop plants. Okay, that is fine. But the problem here is the pesticides which we use, it not only kills the harmful pathogens, but it also kills certain other pathogens, other microorganisms which are beneficial to mankind. That means there are some useful microbes also, useful insects also, which are killed with the use of pesticides. Okay, these chemical pesticides, it do not select either to kill useful insect or either to kill the harmful insect, and it do not discriminate. That is the major drawback of the chemical pesticides. Here the chemical pesticides do not discriminate useful and harmful pathogens or insects in agricultural fields. Okay, look at the part here. The chemical pesticides are used to kill the pest only that harms the crop plants, and our intention is biological control of pest and its disease, because some of the microorganisms causes disease to the plants, some of the pest will harm the agricultural plants. Our intention is to protect it. Our intention is to preserve our crops so that we can produce more quantity of yield. So that's why the chemical pesticides nowadays also it is used, but it is having harmful effects also. One, excess use, it kills the useful organisms. Second, it leads to air pollution because the droplets should not enter into our lungs. It causes severe lung disorders. Sometimes it is fatal also. It may kill the humans also. Okay, due to these pesticides, chemical pesticides. And third one, excess of use of these chemical pesticides will be on the soil. It leads to water pollution also in the later cases during rain. And hence, there is a negative impact of the chemical pesticides. Either we use a herbicide, weedicide or a fungicide, whichever the part it might be, it is definitely having a negative impact on the agriculture field. Then, why can't we use an alternative source so that we can use the useful pest, we can use the useful insects to kill the harmful? How it is? ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಳ್ಳನ್ನು ಮುಳ್ಳಿನಿಂದಲೇ ತೆಗಿ. The same formula we are using here. Kill the pest by using another pest or by using another insect or any microorganism. How the process is carried out, how the entire process is carried out. Here we have an example, few examples of the biological control of pest. Now let's look at them one by one. The first one is ladybird beetle. The first one is the ladybird beetle. The ladybird beetle is an insect which kills one more harmful plant pathogen, and that name is aphid. So it kills the aphids. Aphid is a small insect that feeds on the leaves of the crop plants. When it starts to feed on the crop plants, leaves of the crop plants, photosynthesis gets reduced, production gets reduced, and hence with the use of the ladybird beetle, we are killing the population of the aphids which infects our agricultural crops. That means that this ladybird beetle will feed on the aphids, because aphids will infect majority of the plants, crop plants. This is regarding the first one. From this insect, we are killing one more insect. Look at the formula we use. So to control one pest, we use one more insect. What it does? It goes, it shoots. Shoots meaning it eats. Okay, this is the first one. Second one. Second one is dragonfly. Dragonflies. It controls the population of mosquitoes. Look at the part of the dragonfly. Now dragonfly, it controls the population of the mosquitoes. It kills the mosquitoes also. How does it kill? Dragonfly. Almost you are familiar with the dragonfly. Dragonfly usually it will be flying in the air. It is an insect. Where you call it as a helicopter also. It is a fly which flies like a helicopter. Okay, that's a common name for it. This is a dragonfly. This dragonfly, what it will do? Does it flies and catches the mosquitoes? No, it's not like that. It feeds on the larvae of mosquitoes, because the larvae of the mosquitoes are in water. Then, what is the use of killing this mosquito population? The major benefit is mosquitoes will suck the sap of the plant. Not only they suck the blood of the humans, but they also suck the sap. Sap is a fluid produced by the plants. Even they suck. Usually the mosquitoes which bites us are the female mosquitoes. Regarding that part we will study in a chapter called as human health and disease. Here we are studying about the dragonfly which controls the population of the mosquitoes. So it feeds on the population of the mosquitoes. Suppose if it controls the mosquito larvae, then how it is useful to us? One benefit is mosquitoes are the agents, are the vectors that carries majority of the pathogens, and it also causes the disease like malaria, filaria, dengue fever. All the disease is caused by mosquito. So one beneficial to humans as far as the health part is concerned. Second is, as it controls the population of the mosquitoes, these mosquitoes will be feeding on the sap of the plant, and hence by this process, though it affects to a lesser quantity, but still it is important to control the population of the mosquitoes so that the production of the crops can be increased. This is the second one, dragonfly. Let's go to the third one. Third one is Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis, where we call it as a BT. It is a name of a bacteria. BT refers to Bacillus thuringiensis. Again, regarding this part, we are going to study in detail about in the chapter biotechnology. BT doesn't mean biotechnology. BT is a name of a bacteria, Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay. I think you have heard about BT cotton, BT brinjal, BT tomato, BT soybean, BT, all the food crops. Okay, BT refers to the genes which are used, which are taken from the bacteria, inserted into the crop plants to make the plant resistant against various types of diseases or pathogens. That is a part of biotechnology. There we will study. Okay, now here, as we are taking it in microbes in human welfare, what is the use of this bacteria, Bacillus thuringiensis? Now this BT bacteria, what it will do? It kills the larvae of butterflies. We also call them as caterpillars. larvae of butterfly, when we call it as a caterpillar. That means Bt bacteria will kill. How it kills? Bacillus thuringiensis, Bt, they are available in the form of spores, minute spores. They are available in the form of these spores. We call them as Bt spores. Now these Bt spores are packed into a sachet, as we have the shampoo sachet. It is filled in the sachets. What we do? We bring these sachets, cut the packet, pour this into a bucket containing water, mix it properly, then spray on the plants. Okay, especially on the vulnerable plants, it is sprayed. When we spray these, usually these Bt spores, they are sprayed. They are sprayed on certain plants that consist of vulnerable plants such as brassica as well as fruit trees. In the brassica as well as fruit trees, when it is sprayed, then ultimately the larvae of the butterfly will be feeding on the leaves of these brassicas. Brassica refers to mustard, sasve, gida. Adra eli mele feed ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. As it feeds on the leaves of these brassicas, when it eats, when the caterpillar larvae feeds on the leaf, these Bt spores will enter into its gut. Gut is its intestine. It produces toxins. That toxins will kill the caterpillar. This is how Bt bacteria will control the population of the caterpillar larvae, so that it do not harm the crop plants. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the Bacillus thuringiensis. Look at the part. Bt is nothing but Bacillus thuringiensis, name of a bacteria which is available in the form of spores, that is packed into a packet in the form of the sachet. This sachet is taken out, cut, it is poured into water, it is mixed thoroughly, then it is sprayed on the vulnerable plants like brassica as well as fruit trees. And when the caterpillar larvae will be present on the leaves, when they feed the leaves, the Bt will enter into its gut and it will release the toxins. These toxins kills the larvae. This is how the larvae are killed and the pathogen or pest is controlled. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the Bacillus thuringiensis. Then we will go to the next part. Fourth one is a trichoderma. Trichoderma is a fungus. Is a fungus. It is present in root ecosystem. It is present in a root ecosystem. Look at that part. Trichoderma is a naturally occurring fungus that is present in the root ecosystems. Then what is the function of this trichoderma? It controls many root pathogens of the plants. So it controls many root pathogens. That affect the roots of many crop plants. The trichoderma is a fungus which naturally occurs in the soil and as it is present in the root ecosystem. Root ecosystem means it is present in the soil itself. The pathogens which harms the roots, they are killed with the help of this trichoderma. Nowadays, the trichoderma, it is available in the form of white powder where we get it in the agricultural marts. We can bring it, just spray this trichoderma into the soil. It kills majority of the root pathogens. So it kills majority of the root pathogens. Either it is a bacteria or any other type of insect pest that will damage the roots. Suppose if the roots of the plant is damaged, ultimately production gets decreased. It may lead to death of the plant also. So that's why this trichoderma is a useful fungus that controls the pathogens, root pathogens especially. Okay. So this is regarding the part of the trichoderma. Then let's go to the next one. The next one is Bacillus. Bacillus, it belongs to genus nucleopolyhedrovirus. Remember this genus. The baculovirus, it belongs to the genus nucleopolyhedrovirus. Now what is the function of this baculovirus? Now this baculovirus, it is used as species specific narrow spectrum insecticidal application. It is used as a species specific narrow spectrum insecticidal applications. That means this baculovirus, as it belongs to a genus nucleopolyhedrovirus, it targets only one type of pathogens, especially it controls arthropoda pests. So it controls arthropoda pests. It kills many of the insect pests also. So this is regarding the part of the baculovirus. Look at the part which is most important. Now this baculovirus is used like a bullet to kill a particular pathogen. That's why it is called as a species specific. It is affected, it can kill only one particular type of arthropoda pest that will damage the crop plants. That's why it is a species specific. To a particular type of species, this baculovirus is used and it kills only one type of pathogen, especially arthropoda pests. So that's why it is used as species specific narrow spectrum. Why narrow? Because it is particular against a particular type of pathogen. It is not a generalized way. It does not kill many of the pathogens. It kills only one type of pathogens. It identifies, it shoots out. Okay, so this is how the baculovirus will function. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the biological control of pest. Now all these together comes under a part where we call it as a integrated pest management. All this is the study of integrated pest management, where we call it as a IPM. Not IPL, IPM. So it is integrated pest management. All this is the part. Why integrated pest management? The pest has to be managed, it has to be controlled, so that our crop plants has to be conserved, our crop plant has to be preserved, our quality has to be increased. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the role of microbes as a biocontrol agents. Now finally, what is the conclusion that we are going to draw? The final conclusion is, instead of using chemical pesticides, why can't we go with the microorganisms which are present in the nature, by which we can kill the pests that damage our crop plants? And this is regarding an eco-friendly nature, where we can preserve our nature also. Okay, so with this we are moving into the last part of the chapter, and that last part of the chapter will be regarding the microbes as biofertilizers. Okay, so we'll continue that part, and regarding the microbes as biofertilizers, what is its use and what is its role. So let's study. Okay. The next part that we are going to study in this last session, as it is the last session, where at the end of the chapter now we come across a heading called as microbes as biofertilizers. Okay, so we are studying regarding the part of microbes as biofertilizers. Now, what is this biofertilizer? Bio refers to the use of biological organisms and from which the fertilizers can be produced, where we call it as microbes as biofertilizers. Suppose if we are using biological organisms to produce the fertilizer or to make the soil fertile, this is a process of organic farming. So it forms the part of organic farming. Okay, so this is the part of organic farming. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸಾವಯವ ಕೃಷಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So this is what is termed as organic farming by using the natural fertilizers. Okay. There are majority of the organisms which are present in the nature that will lead to the fertility of the soil, and the fertility of the soil can be increased. Why the soil should be fertile? Because this fertile soil helps in growth of the plants, helps to increase the yield, helps to increase the productivity, and it also helps to increase the economic prosperity of our country. And as we know, our country is a farmers country. Farmers are the backbone of our country, where they are going to produce a lot of foodstuffs in our country. And now almost this organic farming, the process of organic farming, it is in use also, and majority of the persons are supporting for the organic farming. Why can't we go for the organic farming instead of chemical fertilizers? We are very familiar with the chemical fertilizers, as we have talked in the previous part of this content. If we use chemical fertilizers, one thing, we are increasing the fertility of the soil, but on the other thing, we are making the soil as infertile. How infertile? Increased fertility may also kill the pest. How it is? Not only pest but also crop plants. Atiyada amrutavu visha. The same way, if we are using the chemical fertilizers in more doses, more quantity, it will definitely damage the crop plants also. We are using it in limited way, but I am not sure that we are using it in limited way. We are using in unlimited only. Okay, so as a result, it is polluting the soil also. During the rains, the excess of these chemical fertilizers are taken to the aquatic water bodies. It is enriching the fertilizers in the aquatic water bodies, leading to eutrophication. Regarding the part of the eutrophication, it is a study of last chapter, environmental issues. We will come across that part. Now, look at this part. Instead of going with chemical fertilizers, which is having a negative impact as it is made up of chemicals only, we cannot increase the soil fertility. It is a temporary increase of the soil fertility. So as a result, we have to go with the different sorts, different farming methodologies, different practices in the agricultural fields. Okay, one is mixed cropping has to be done, and crop rotation has to be done, and use of this organic farming is the best method of retaining the fertility of the soil. Do not grow only one type of crops for many years. Just change the crops so that the fertility of the soil can be retained. What will happen if you are growing only one type of crop plants? It leads to infertility of the soil. It leads to sterility of the soil. It leads to barrening of the soil where no other crops can be grown. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the organic farming where we are going to study this chapter, and this is the last heading of the chapter. Okay, now let's study what are the organisms that are used in the organic farming. Regarding the organic farming, we know the organisms which are used. Let's come to the first organism. Let's take the name of the first organism. The microorganism that is present in roots of leguminous plant that fixes atmospheric nitrogen and increase the fertility of the soil. Yes, I think you have got the answer. It is a rhizobium bacteria. First one is a rhizobium. As we know, rhizobium is present in the roots of legume plants. So it is present in roots of legume plants that fixes atmospheric nitrogen to the roots of legume plants. As it is present in the roots of the legume plants, it fixes atmospheric nitrogen. It increases the fertility of the soil as well as fertility of the roots. So it is a part of organic farming. Okay, so legume plant, we can take an example for the legume plant as a pea plant. Pea is a legume plant, and you have already studied the root nodules of leguminous plants in class 11. Okay, this is one thing. Then we have other examples also. We can quote the other examples also. The other examples include azospirillum and astrobacter. Azospirillum and astrobacter. They are free living. They are free living soil microbes that increases the fertility of the soil by fixing atmospheric nitrogen. So they fix atmospheric nitrogen and they are free living microorganisms which are present in the soil. So this is regarding the part of azospirillum. So let's go to the next one, third one. Third one is mycorrhiza. This mycorrhiza, it is a fungus. Mycorrhiza is a fungus. It belongs to genus Glomus. Look at this part. Mycorrhiza belongs to a genus called as a Glomus. This is again an objective question. Mycorrhiza belongs to which genus, or name the genus of mycorrhiza. It belongs to genus Glomus. This mycorrhiza is a soil fungus present in the soil, and it provides a lot of nutrients to the roots of the plants. Okay. And regarding the part of the mycorrhiza, again we have studied in the class 11 also. Let's study the same thing here. Now there are two types of mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza are of two types. One is ectomycorrhiza, other one is endomycorrhiza. These are the two different types of mycorrhiza. Ecto, endo. As the name says, ecto, outside on the surface of, endo, inside in the surface of. Ectomycorrhiza is present on the surface of the roots. On the surface of the roots. Endomycorrhiza, it's a fungal hyphae. They will penetrate into the roots and they will enter into the cortex region. So that's why endomycorrhiza, they will enter into the cortex region. This endomycorrhiza, they are also called as, we use one more term called as a WAM. This is called as a WAM. Then what is WAM? WAM is vesicular, arbuscular mycorrhiza. WAM is a vesicular, arbuscular mycorrhiza. What is this? Vesicular, having vesicle type. Okay, finger-like projections, vesicle type. Arbuscular, they are inserted into the plant cortex. They enter into the cortex region. Okay, and it is a mycorrhiza. So that's why endomycorrhiza, it is called as a WAM. This is most important as far as the need is concerned. So that's why endomycorrhiza is called as WAM, vesicular, based on the shape, arbuscular, because they enter into the cortex of the roots, and it is a fungus called as mycorrhiza. What is the function of this endomycorrhiza, or what is the function of the mycorrhiza? Suppose if we look at the function of the mycorrhiza, if we look at its functions, the function of the mycorrhiza is it provides phosphorus, it provides phosphorus to the roots. Look at the function, it provides phosphorus to the roots. Then apart from this, it is having one more function also. The other function of this is it is resistant to root-borne pathogens. Resistance to root-borne pathogens. It is a resistance to root-borne pathogens. That means the pathogens are killed by the mycorrhiza, or the mycorrhiza does not allow the growth of the pathogens. Then next character is it is resistant to drought and salinity. Third one, it is resistance to drought and salinity. Drought is, suppose if there is no rainfall also, it do not allow the plant to die. Okay, so that's why it is resistant to drought, as well as salinity, excess of salts. So it is resistant to excess of salts also. So this is regarding the function of the mycorrhiza. Remember, mycorrhiza is present in symbiotic association of roots of many plants. Especially it is present in the gymnosperms also. It is also present in the angiosperms. But in majority of the gymnosperms we find the mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is in symbiotic association, mutualistic association with the roots of many plants. Look at the rhizobium. Rhizobium is symbiotic association with the roots of legume plants. This is legume plants. This is regarding higher plants. Higher plants refers to gymnosperms and angiosperms. So here both are what? Both are symbiotic association microorganisms, right? So this is regarding the part of the mycorrhiza. So with this, let's move on to the next one, fourth one. Fourth one, we have other type of microorganisms where we call them as a cyanobacteria. Okay, the cyanobacteria like Nosta oscillatoria are present in paddy fields. They are present in paddy fields. Anabina, Nosta oscillatoria. These are the cyanobacteria which are present in the paddy fields. And what is their function? Their major function is they fix the atmospheric nitrogen to the plants and increasing the fertility of the soil. They fix atmospheric nitrogen to the plants and increase the fertility of the soil. This is the major function of the cyanobacteria. Then, apart from all these things, we have one more major part. We have one more major organism where we call this organism or where we call this animal as a friend of a farmer. Who is he? You or me? No. Yes, it is the earthworm. Okay, regarding the part of an earthworm, this is an excess term where we are using here. Earthworm is called as a friend of a farmer. Why earthworm is called as a friend of a farmer? Because it increases the fertility of the soil. How does the earthworm increase the fertility of the soil? By producing vermicompost. So it produces vermicompost. The cast, the fecal matter of the earthworm is called as vermicompost. Erehula gobbara. So this is used as the fertilizer, the agricultural fields. And nowadays lot of vermicompost is used that increase the fertility of the soil. If the earthworms are present in the soil, it feeds on the soil particles, it feeds on the organic matter, and the left out cast or vermicompost, it increases the fertility of the soil. That's why earthworm is called as a friend of the farmer, because it increases the fertility of the soil. Then apart from these, we have lot many microorganisms that will help in increasing the fertility of the soil. And if we have the knowledge of these utilization of these microorganisms, then we can increase, we can support, we can sustain the organic farming. So let's support the organic farming, let's support our local farmers, let's support our country, and as our country is the country of the farmers, we are the backbone of the country, and farmers are majorly the producers of the food, and let's support them.